Sportscenter here in the nation's capital. I'm Scott Van Pelt. Busy, diverse evening in sports. Full post-game reaction from the Eagles and the Giants. A visit with one of the stars in the game on the Giants side. They double up the Eagles. Dodgers punch their ticket to the NLCS. Mookie Betts joins the program. Full highlights and reaction of Game 4 in Chicago between the Brewers and the Cubs. And we got winners written down on the card. Damian Woody going to join us in just a moment to discuss the Thursday night opener to Week 6 in the NFL. You see the Eagles have a 10-game winning streak against the Giants in prime time. That's the longest dating back to 1970. Home team down by 3, and Jackson Dart takes off, makes a move, burst of speed. He's got a clean seam to the end zone, and the Giants score to take the lead. They get the ball back. Now Dart, off schedule, off platform. Can he make something happen? Indeed. Hits Wan'Dale Robinson, who makes a move, goes down the sideline, picking up a block. Wan'Dale Robinson with a touchdown. The extra points missed. It's 13-3. First time the Giants have scored more than 7 in the first quarter in 81 games. But here comes the road team. A.J. Brown, contested catch on that Jalen Hurts toss for 30. And then Hurts, they love Dallas Goedert down there around the goal line. So many creative ways to get him the ball. Remember what they did in Tampa. Here they get him another touchdown inside the 5-yard line, and it's 13-10. And now on 3rd and 1, they run it and get stopped. They run it on 4th and 1. Oh, is that early? Nah, why? You do whatever you want. It's fine. It's never going to get flagged. Dable's upset. Now it's 1st down. They run it again. They've run it 3 straight times. 4 straight tush pushes. The first time since that became a thing that anyone's done it 4 consecutive times. Hey, it works. They get the touchdown, 17-13. But here comes Cam Skattebo. He wants to deliver punishment on the way to the end zone. He does. Giants lead by 3. In the 3rd, Skattebo again. He's built like a rhinoceros. Now they're spotting him down, but he's not. You'll see right there. I mean, that's in. Ball crosses the plane, and I've never seen a rhinoceros that could flip. They're up by 10. Late 3rd, Dart goes down and immediately appears to be in some sort of distress. And looking at it, hard to tell exactly what happens, but into the blue tent he goes. Now, head coach Brian Dable, Cam Skattebo, they both go into the blue tent. Dable telling the Giants team doctor, Scott Rodeo, like, let's go. And he doesn't seem pleased, but, I mean, you got to let him go through the protocol. He gets cleared. Russell Wilson came in briefly. It didn't go great during the time that he was on the field, but he would come back. As the Eagles try to come back, Cordell Flott makes an incredible play. Doug Herbie made a great point on the broadcast that Hurts was looking left all night. Flott anticipated that, jumped the route. Hurts streak of 305 consecutive passes without an interception broken. Guess who? Skattebo again into the end zone. More gymnastics. He did another flip, and there you go. Well, there's just a little chest bump with the fellow rookie, and what a start for those two. Since Dart made his first start, that was Week 4 at home against the Chargers. He and Skattebo have rushed for 50 each in the last 3 games. Second rookie duo to do that in the history of the NFL, joining Lamar Jackson and Gus Edwards. We always enjoy our time with Damian Woody on a Thursday night. This time he's in his place, and we're happy to visit with him. And Damian, man, there's an energy with these 2 rookies, Dart and Skattebo, that if any franchise, really if any football city needed an injection of adrenaline, it was New York City, and they have gotten it in these 2. I'll give you the floor. Where do you want to start between those 2 of who most impresses you tonight against the reigning champs?
Scotty, it's hard for me to pick which one. I mean, listen, you talk about both of these guys. I said a couple weeks ago against the Chargers, they brought so much juice. It was literally jumping out of the screen. It was the same way tonight. between Jackson Dart and utilizing his legs to get out of all sorts of trouble and making plays down the field, and Cam Skattebo with his physicality in the run game, that combination has really energized this Giants team on both sides of the ball. Imagine, Scotty, you're a defensive guy and you're watching these young fellas out there, bringing that physicality, extending plays, scoring touchdowns. Man, that provides so much juice across the board. The Giants got something here with these two young guys.
You're talking about a defense that gets to, take a rest. You could put your feet up, put your house shoes on, though. They went 11 for 16 on third down. Like, that's such a critical stat in this league. And they managed to possess the ball, stay on the field, and there's the juice. But I want to go back to last week, because after they beat the unbeaten Chargers, they go on the road, turn it over the last 5 times they have it to lose to a winless team in New Orleans. And I guess what I'm saying is, looking at the sandwich of the wins against the teams they beat with a loss in the middle, I presume that's just the cost of doing business with a young team, or I should say a couple of young players, but it's got to be worth it in the long run for New York, right?
Absolutely. This is the cost of doing business when you're playing a couple young guys at critical positions. You're going to have games like tonight. You're going to have games like last week on the road down in the Superdome, and they committed 5 turnovers. So that comes with it, but that trajectory, all you want is that trajectory going upward, and that's where this Giant team seems like they're headed right now.
The next 2 are pretty rugged, at Denver, at Philadelphia, and then San Francisco comes in. So, I mean, listen, they're going to keep getting a chance to prove it week to week. But this night against this team, who they had gotten worked by in prime time 10 straight times, got to be satisfying. Now, in the highlight, Damien, I showed the 4 in a row of the tush push. And, I mean, just your reaction to just watching it 4 straight times? You're shaking your head. What are you saying? What words do you put with that head shake?
I'm literally watching the game. I'm like, this is hideous. This is not football. I understand, I've been a guy that said, you got to go out there and stop it. But I also understand football is entertainment. Tell me what entertainment aspect of this that is pleasurable to the public out here. It's just a hideous play to watch it 4 times in a row. I think the NFL is going to do something about it this offseason, as they should.
All right. I'll put myself in the shoes of an Eagle fan who would say stop it, right? Just stop the play. And they coach it well. I'd say they execute it well. I think it drives people nuts that in slow motion we can see false starts on quite a few of these snaps. But where I land with this, not as an Eagle fan, but just as a football fan, is there has to be a better reason than just we don't like it. And that's really all anyone says, Damien. We don't like it. I don't like watching it. I don't like when there's a given in sports. And that's really all anyone says is we don't like it. It's not a player safety thing. Guys don't get hurt a ton, although there was a Giant that got hurt on one of those plays. I just think mostly what I hear is we don't like it. Isn't that what this is?
I mean, listen, that's basically what it is. But again, I want to say the NFL is about entertainment.
I agree.
And again, what is entertainment about watching 4 straight tush pushes in a row by the Philadelphia Eagles? I just think the public is not into this, this play, being executed like this.
We agree, but I still think it's just mostly people saying we don't like it. That's not nearly as important as what you think about Philadelphia in total, because I made the point last night, felt like we've done this the last 2 years, a lot of scrutiny about who they are, and they still win a ton of games. Well, now they've lost a couple in a row, and I'm interested in where you see this team 6 games in at 4-2, still for the moment leading the NFC East.
Scotty, they're very predictable on offense. I mean, you got your quarterback lining up in the shotgun about 80-90% of the time. It's hard to do. They can't run the football consistently. The play-action pass game is almost non-existent. There's a lot of tells that you can do just watching the Philadelphia Eagles on offense. So they got to mix things up. They got to get the quarterback under center more, just change things up offensively, because if I can see it, you better believe that the opposition, the coaches who are scouting these things much more than I am, they can see it as well.
Yeah, a lot of introspection among the group this week, and then they go out and get doubled up by the Giants in a standalone spot. So they got a couple of games before their bye. I'm sure they'll be working on it in Philadelphia. Damian, my love to your family as always, and look forward to seeing you here in person or next week or whenever it is. All right?
Absolutely.
Appreciate you. Damian Woody with us Thursday night. What a night in New York for the rookie quarterback and the rookie running back. Cam Skattebo once, take that one with you. Twice, bang, delivering a blow on the way in, reaches it across, and then do it a third time. He's got back flips and one-handed flips and all sorts of dismounts and things of that nature. And Cam Skattebo has thrown on the headset to join us now. Cam, hey, it's Scott Van Pelt here on Sportscenter. What a night for you and your guys. And, man, I know that you weren't alive for some of these losses for the Giants against Philly in primetime, but just how aware were you of how things had gone recently when you and Philadelphia have played?
I just know that I read something this morning that there was a 10-game or a 10-year streak of not winning on Thursday Night Football. And, you know, I looked at Jackson and I said, we're going to change that tonight. So that was kind of the one stat. I haven't really paid attention to New York and Philly, but the main one was, you know, the 10 years on Thursday Night Football not winning. So, you know, we had to switch that over.
Well, you all are now 1-0, and I'm going to get to your quarterback in a minute. But, I mean, the highlights that we showed, I think, look, you became something of a cult hero back in college down there for Arizona State. But then, like, you know, you're plowing through guys, and then you're doing backflips. Your energy is so infectious. How aware are you of the way you're able to impact not just your offense, but your entire team, Cam?
Yeah, I mean, you know, this Coach Dayball and Joe, you know, they drafted me for a reason. They seen the energy I had. They seen the player I am. You know, that's what I'm going to bring to this team. I'm going to continue to bring it. The high energy fuels these guys. And when I first got here, the energy wasn't there. And I felt that. And I knew, you know, I needed to kind of build my way in. I dealt with a couple injuries when I first got here. And, you know, I knew I needed to build my way in and continue to get these guys' trust and respect. And once that kind of took off and I earned these guys' trust and respect, you know, I started being really myself. And these guys really started to buy in and, you know, give me energy back and show that, you know, they want to work hard to win football games.
That's tricky, right? When you're a rookie, right? And these are grown men who've been here. I mean, you can't just walk in and start yelling at everybody. They're going to look like, who the hell is this guy? But as you and Jackson are able to put it on tape, as they say in this league, how do you feel the buy-in? Because I felt like we could see it tonight, man. Your defense is on the bench going nuts, waving towels. Like, how much do you feel it growing in these weeks that you've been out there?
I mean, it's been nothing but growth. You know, you could feel these guys buying in. You know, Coach Dayball's bringing that energy and that fire. And everyone's really buying into each other, no matter what, trying to keep all the outside stuff away and focus on, you know, the 53 men that are in the building every single day, that are fighting the battlefield every single day. So, you know, continuing to, you know, fight and battle has been awesome with these guys, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Well, the future's got a couple of tough road games at Denver and at Philadelphia, but that's for down the road. I must admit that as I looked at him being your quarterback, I look at you and I think, a couple of young guys that got the city in the palm of their hand and got a long weekend ahead of them. I mean, you got to make sure. That's a tough city. There's a lot of distractions out there. How do you manage, Cam, to keep the main thing and not let all of the outside noise and temptations of what the city could offer? I see you shaking your head. That holds no intrigue, huh?
I'll be playing video games, taking care of my body. You know, there's not a thing that can get me out of the zone of football right now. Just continuing to work and make sure that, you know, these guys are staying focused and, like I said, bringing the energy to make sure that these guys know I'm locked in and we're all locked in together.
Hell yeah, that makes a ton of sense. You do whatever you want, but mostly take care of that body, rest and recover, and enjoy the ride, man. It was a lot of fun watching you and your teammates play tonight. You were fantastic. I appreciate you taking a little bit of time, Cam.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Cam Skattebo and the Giants. What a win against Philadelphia. And you see Cam's a second Giant rookie with 3 rushing touchdowns in the game. Charlie Evans, 1971. I must admit, I don't remember that game. I don't remember that game. Jackson Dart. won his first start against the Chargers. Then they lost on the road to a winless New Orleans team, now hosting the reigning champions from Philadelphia. That was a pretty good quarterback at Ole Miss. It was pretty good for the Giants too, right? Eli Manning in the building and Darius Slayton out. Lil Jordan Humphrey is up, and he leaps up for a good catch of 34 yards. And here on 3rd and 8, the money down in the league. They're 11 of 16 on 3rd down. This is a first down and a touchdown. What's up? Jackson Dart, 7-3. Next Giants drive.